When you get into a car accident, you're going to go to a repair shop naturally and you're going to get a quote. What's going to happen is you might find one shop that quotes expensive, another shop might seem really, really cheap. Why does that happen? And in this video, we're going to explain the differences in pricing and why this occurs. This Audi owner had his front bar repaired. He came to us initially to get a quote and he thought it may be a little bit too high. So he received another quote that was a bit lower, but what he didn't realize is the amount of work that was involved in their quote versus our quote. As you can see, Alfie's pulling apart the bumper, and this is what we do when we paint a bumper bar. We really like to do things as thorough as possible. And when you're painting a bumper bar, you should be disassembling the whole thing. And the reason for that is so you can prepare it properly so paint doesn't flake off. You also want to make sure that it gets a nice consistent finish. To pull apart these Audi bars in particular, they're very intricate. There's a lot of pieces. So it takes us a lot of time to pull each and every individual part off the bumper bar, and then not only doing it, but doing it correctly so you don't break or damage any parts whilst you're pulling it off. So now we flip the bar over and I'm going to show you the difference between a higher quality quote or higher priced quote versus a lower end quote. So I'm assuming that this was painted by a mobile spray painter, and I can tell because there's lots of telling signs. The first one is where they've stopped their clear coat. You can see that there's a hard line just there. Another thing is the preparation is really, really poor. Very, very dry, poorly applied. There's dust all in the paint. Another thing is they've actually painted over PPF, which is not good. Another thing is because the bar is on the car and they haven't taken any of the parts off, there's zero clear coat underneath the bumper bar because the access to that is really hard when the bar's not off and pulled apart. So there you have a comparison. One is a little less labor intensive because they don't have to pull any parts off the bar to paint it. The other one, we're pulling the bar off the car, pulling all the parts off the bumper bar. And that's why you're going to get differences in quotes sometimes.